I'm bearish on Monad, and here is why. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you about why I'm bearish on Monad, why I don't really like this project in general, and we're going to go over where I also think the price could go. Now, to be clear, I'm actually kind of bullish short term, and we'll go over why that is. But first things first, let's go over the tokenomics, because this is really crucial to obviously understand. So first of all, they came out with their tokenomics, and here you can see that there's going to be 100 billion tokens, and 3.3% of those is going to be airdropped to various different users. Apparently Indians weren't allowed to be a part of the airdrop. RIP guys. Public sale is for 75%. That's being conducted right now on Coinbase. You can see here the FDV is set to be at $2.5 billion. By the way, this token sale on Coinbase is not any early listing. You are not getting a cheap price. In fact, whatever you get into here is going to be the set price for the TGE. So you're not an insider and you're not early. So at launch, there's going to be roughly around 49.4% of the supply. So let's just say 50% of the supply is going to be circulating upon launch, upon the token generation event. So the base starting value is going to be roughly around 49.4 billion tokens. With that, the FDV is going to be $2.5 billion, as we've seen on Coinbase for the token sale. And so the market cap is going to be $1.235 billion. So the price per token is going to be 0.025. So $1.2 billion for a market cap is going to put us between Flare, Render, and Caspa. So it's going to be a very high starting market cap. So in order to get a 2x FDV pump to have a market cap at $2.47 billion, that would put you in between Ethereum Classic and Pepe, and the price would be 0.05. And to have a 4x FDV pump, the FDV would then be $10 billion. The market cap would be $4.94 billion. So in between Chronos and Polkadot, and the price would be trading at 10 cents. So first of all, we have nearly half of the tokens are going to be unlocked at TGE. There's also going to be no lockup on the public sale or the airdrop, which is making over 10% of the supply. And so I've been talking about the tokenomics, but when it comes to the project itself, Monad just basically poses itself as another fast blockchain, right? How many fast blockchains do we have at this point, right? There are so many. What's going to happen? Usually they just kind of end up as dinosaurs. We can take a look at, for example, Aptos, right? Aptos has a TVL right now of 600 million. When it comes to the chain revenue in the past 24 hours, they have only yielded $2,300 in revenue. And we're talking about a project that raised $350 million. Or what about Sui or Sui, or however you say this one? The chain revenue is $16,000 in the past 24 hours for $1.3 billion in TVL. And you look at the chart, and of course, the insiders got in super early before anyone else. So of course, they're still up. But for the just regular people, it dumped on TGE. Eventually, Sui kind of picked back up and actually did kind of well if you look at it that way. I mean, recently in the past year, it hasn't been doing that well, but overall, the market cap is okay. It's at $7.4 billion. If you take a look at Aptos, I mean, if you, for example, got in TGE, but then you were trading the project after a 2x, then yeah, you, for example, made money here. I mean, it's down 63% from the TGE, from the all time. So it has kind of pumped up. So if you were a smart trader in this and actually took profit along the way, then you did well. But for the average holder who, for example, got into the TGE and then instantly had it dumped on them and then held through, for example, the recent highs that it had and now is currently bag holding, you would definitely be down a lot. You'd be down 63%. And I can't think of any app that's built on Aptos or on Sui itself anyways. And this is probably going to be the same for Monad in the future. It's probably just going to be another dead chain. And Monad already raised over $250 million from top VCs as well. So these VCs are going to be pumping this project as hard as they possibly can to make their money back. So what does Polymarket say? Polymarket says that the Monad market cap, the FTV, is going to be bigger than $2 billion after the first day of launch. And it says that that is a 96% chance. And then we have a 83% chance that it's going to be bigger than $3 billion one day after launch. So this is where things then taper off. 54% then say that the FTV is going to be bigger than $4 billion. And then 35% say it's going to be bigger than $5 billion one day after launch. So the majority is anticipating that it's going to be in the range of $2 billion to $4 billion when it comes to the FTV. And this is just after launch. And frankly, I agree. I think it's probably going to pump, especially because Coinbase is now doing token sales through their platform. Coinbase, of course, wants to make sure that this goes very well. So other projects, of course, use this platform. And I'm sure Base, is going to be launching their own token through this platform in the future. And really, it's in their best interest for this project to pump. But long term, is it going to be another dead chain like Sui or like Aptos? That's kind of what I'm anticipating. And by the way, just comparing, for example, like I said earlier, that the Aptos chain revenue is at $2,000 in the past 24 hours. If we compare this to, for example, like Base, the Base chain revenue in the past 24 hours is close to $200,000 in the past 24 hours. So there are some chains that are doing very well. Of course, Base is built on Ethereum and they are producing a lot of revenue compared to some, L1 killers, Ethereum killers that come about, for example, like Aptos, like Sui, or do you guys remember that one project called Say? This one came out and what happened? This one had a peak of $2.7 billion and now it's down to $1 billion. And what's interesting is that due to the tokenomics, the first part here actually had the highest price point just because they didn't have as much of the supply circulating, but the highest market cap was actually in this range here, just because there are now more tokens circulating, but the market cap was higher here. The price didn't exceed the previous all-time high. I would imagine something like this is going to happen to Monad. It's going to be a quick and easy VC play. They're going to dump on retail investors. The FTV is going to be very high, and then no one's going to use the project and it will slowly die off. Personally, I don't touch these L1s that come about. I'm not really interested in them. Usually they're so deep with VCs as well. They're basically controlled by VCs. I just don't want to be a part of them. I'd rather stick to lower cap projects with way lower market caps that have way more upside potential. That's all I have for this one. If any of this resonated with you, make sure to check out my school group in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next one.